back. Welcome back, Grubs and Scrubs. Anyone who feels like watching this at any point. We are just taking a build, very cheap, and for me, extremely satisfying to play a build through hell. We just got to Act 2. We came through Act 1, played like an absolute goober. I died once, but it was comically avoidable death. Yeah, I've just been playing, like, clearing hell, plays 3 with a 60 damage bow. That's, and playing like an idiot, but almost never being punished, just so safe. And that's the Cripplezon. So here's the setup. I've tweaked it a little bit since the last act. So the real keys are this, and this. Whatever you want here. I mean, Blackthorns is good for extra slow, but 50% slow is enough, right? So you want this, and honestly, Goblin Toe is better than Gore Rider, but I did have a hustle when I cleared Act 1, and I found that with a Shale, this will hit the same breakpoint, so I went, okay, whatever, might as well chuck on the Duriel Shell. Resistances are still in the toilet, as you would expect, ameliorated somewhat by us having some Lightning Absorb, and Lightning being the scariest thing in the game for this character. So the Lightning Absorb is really nice. On top of having at least not negative lightning resistance. That's also why I've got a Wisp Projector in there, because that's going to probably replace the Ravenfrost at some point. Since we don't need Cannot Be Frozen, it will suck to lose the attack rating though. And the Cold Absorb, would be nice, but it is what it is. Could always socket this for the Hell Socket quest to just get a little bit of extra resistance. But we were fine before we put the Duriel Shell on. Losing the speed of the hustle,
I've heard,
makes me genuinely want to cry. I might even switch back at some point, just because the part of the whole point, the whole point of this is that this is just fun to play, and I like clearing hell with a 60 damage bow. I do have a pole rune that I found on this character, by the way, but I did have one that I had mealed over just in case. So the option is there to upgrade the bow. This guy has better equipment than me, my mercenary, and he's been, just a great, let's call him team member. Also, because I respec, so I said I was going to respec at the end of that last run, and didn't change anything. So aside from that one point that I wasted in jab, which I decided to do that for some reason on my own time. I didn't have plus skills at some point. What would have had plus skills here? Anyway, yeah, so I did have a pair of Goblin Toe, which are better than the Gore Rider for this build. Because the Deadly Strike we don't care that much about. The Crushing Blow we only want for extremely tough and tanky things like Act Bosses. This takes care of everything else that's really tanky and tough. So as I said, the reason I did have Goblin Toes, which are actually better, but having gotten rid of the hustle just for my own sanity, I wanted good faster run walk, and I didn't want to go get some dual res faster run walk boots and then switch them out for the Goblin Toe when we get to the button. I'm not that kind of guy. But anyway, as you can see, this kind of sucks against undead, but this is just so comfortable. All these boss packs, all these champions, elites, doesn't matter. So the main strength of this build, and you can do this even just with Clegs, just the Clegs, or just the Blackthorn's face. They're enough, either on their own or together, is you're basically making it so that nothing can kill your back. And then they just, they're just easy meat. You will proc the curse on them, you'll get open wounds on them. Open wounds is, the damage of open wounds is doubled by the curse, and they just die. They die super fast? No. But they die. And this is players, just in case anyone's curious, Oh, it's players 1. Okay, but I was doing players 3, and I'm very happy to go back to it. It does take a little bit longer, but it's just to say, like, this could clear players 8. It's just purely just a question of how long you are willing to wait. Because we have prevent monster heal, and we have open wounds, and we have amp damage. And those 3 things together, it's a crazy thing, but it's almost like the tougher the fights, the more they kind of equalize them. Because the longer something doesn't die, you know, then it just gets the proc. And then once it's got the proc strips away their innate 50% damage res that all monsters have in it from physical damage. And then strips away, basically gives them like an additional, you know, 50% vulnerability. So it essentially, imagine if you have physical resistance. It's like you do, but you just can't see it. But imagine if you had that stat, and imagine if the curse put it in negative 50. That's what the curse does. So the curse is effectively removing something that bottlenecks your damage, and then, you know, damn near doubling your damage. It's so stupidly strong. It's one of the strongest things in the game. It genuinely does my head in that it's not valuable. Because, like, if you think this is doing good for a 60 damage bow, now imagine if you've got some really strong roll on a rare that by itself had a 5% chance to proc and damage. Also, yeah, I can also use multi-shot, which clears down some of these groups quite a bit faster, because it just spreads the wounds around the book. But here I'm just playing safe. And like, these are definitely players 3 monsters now. And you can see it takes a lot longer to chip them down without this guy here. This guy is such a component of the strategy. And these electrical mercenaries are just so underrated. Because, you know, you can just give him, you know, Spirit, Wall of the Eyeless, or Lidless Wall. You can give him a Stealth, it's fine, especially on this build. And you can just give him a Law. It won't really change, because they scale with casting speed. Plus skills is nice, but casting speed is what really will make the difference, especially at higher levels. So this guy has a static that will just like cover the whole screen, and he casts it like once every couple of seconds. It chips everything down so nicely. And then of course he, you know, chips them down, yeah, with just spraying charge bolts everywhere, hits them with the lightning, and yeah, it just really speeds everything up. He's such a godsend. Like, if you're playing any character that is like, you know, safe, but just needs damage and needs AoE damage specifically, this guy is your man. Like, he is your go-to. Like, if you, I don't know, when I say safe, I mean like a necromancer, for example, like a summon necro or a summon druid, and it's like, yeah, of course, min-max you would want, you know, like a desert mercenary with might and you know, and a hustle polearm. But, you know, assuming you don't have those things. Like, you can just have all your minions just top hit, and this guy will just chip everything down really nicely. And, you know, this is kind of what we're doing here. It's just like, I'm also just machine gunning in. And the nice thing then is, like, there's nothing this can't kill. I mean, there's... Yeah, so there's... setting aside positional problems, like, you know, let's say there's like just, you know, something incredibly dangerous and ranged occupying this room, but to such an angle that, you know, like some of them are like already going to be shooting at me when I'm like here, and then if I ran into the room, it's just... So setting aside like a positional thing like that, right? Oh no, did I just like... I was babbling so much that I didn't even like pay attention to where I was going in the sewers. I thought I'd already found
Greeting. I don't.
the stairs to part 2, but it doesn't matter. Still interesting, you know. Like part of the fun of this is I just want to test this build. I don't want to like speedrun or anything. Oh yeah, there was no.
I am overburdened.
Ah, that's why I just continued on. All right. So normally, if you just go straight that way, you'll find the exit. And of course, this time it's that. I should have just turned around and checked, but as I said, I was distracted talking about the build. I'm super excited about this because it's so like, you know, there are fights you just can't win with some builds, right? Like you're a melee build, and it's, you know, fanaticism, boss pack. They've got some like horrible affixes. Like, things get a bit dangerous there when the Valk dies. If you just resummon the Valk, like these guys are extra fast, but that doesn't matter. They're still slow. More than slow enough for me to just kite back. Like that was a disgusting boss pack. I don't know how many of them there were there, but that was a lot of horrible stuff. And we just cleaned it out super safe. Like one potion took a whole bunch of mana potions. Like, example of how safe this this setup is like I'm saving like full juvies. I'm not using them, and I don't even have healing potions like in my belt. I just have like these 2 rows and then mana, and I'm constantly picking them up and then having to like shove them back in my stash because there's no and this is a really cool sword. This is like your perfect sword to clear Nightmare with if you want to go Holy Fire, but also a really good one to put on the Fire Mercenaries. You know, obviously you would want a Spirit if you can get one, but cool item.
Good day.
Yeah, that's all I needed. But there's so many like little tricks you can do, like even just like, you know, using this to just see what's ahead. And then look at that. As soon as they get amped out, now it is actually players 3, and they just crumble. And this is a 60 damage bow, and I can upgrade this with a pole rune, and this is a good bow to upgrade because the ED roll on it is quite good, especially on, you know, like there are no faster bows than this. Like there's probably another breakpoint that I can hit beyond this, but the base speed of that bow is huge. But look, see how it just freezes everything? Like, well, that's it. You're all CC, get out of here. And now the air damage goes on, and you know, this is like a level 16 Valkyrie, so she actually, like, she does damage, she chunks stuff down. And this guy's lightning enchanted, which, you know, I consider lightning to be the most dangerous thing to this build, particularly lightning enchanted, because you shoot stuff a lot, so you're going to trigger the little clock quite a bit. And down he goes. Nice and safe. And as I said, that's what I consider to be like the most dangerous thing. Is a lightning enchanted. Or, you know, those guys just be like, souls are probably the most dangerous. But once we put the Wisp Projector on, even they won't be that scary. Wisp Projector is a pretty hard to find piece of kit though. That's probably the hardest thing. Like everything else in this build, just remember I cleared Act 1 with a hustle. You know, everything else in this setup is just free. Like you get this from Nightmare Mephisto. These, I mean, like I said, Goblin Toe are actually better. You get the Goblin Toe from Nightmare Mephisto. You don't even need the Goblin Toe. Like, I can take these off and you'll see the clear time doesn't change that much. This is literally just for boss packs. like, to be completely honest, if you wanted to fully min-max this, some really good dual res with faster run warp are kind of like your combat moves. See? Just doesn't change anything. And like, because of the pierce and everything else, like, you kind of kill bigger groups as quick or quicker than you kill small ones. Because A, you're more likely to proc the curse on a bigger group, as you can see, it just instantly goes up. And B, with pierce, you can tap everyone with open wounds really fast. And then, like, the whole big group goes down, like, as, you know, at the same speed that, like, normally, you know, 3 or 4 would go spread out. But, like, you just shoot through them. And it's so safe. And, like, these are the areas that are kind of unsafest for this character, which is the crazy thing. It's these, like, you know, narrow scratches. So it can take a little bit of time if you just have bad luck with the curse proccing, but they still go down. And remember, a bigger group means the odds of the curse proccing more. So a bigger group will go down not much slower than that. And of course, that is also where the Goblin Toads or the Chloride will help. As you can see, this bigger group, and these are some champions and stuff like that, and hit them. Once they have and damage and open wounds on them, they just bleed out. And all they can do is just be sad about it and move in like they're swimming in molasses, and just be sad if they're dying. And they, you know, like they're just really depressed. And now they'll just fall over. Boom. But yeah, as I say, the Goblin Toes will definitely help with those fights, as do these. But the Goblin Toes are better. I'm wearing these, as I say, for quality of life. But for maximum safety, yeah, you would definitely want some good dual res boots. Because, like, yeah, getting fire to, like, at least around the 0 point would be really nice. Because lightning will be taken care of. That's the most dangerous thing. We don't care about poison, but it's fine. If you really want to be sweaty, you can drink, you know, you can drink pots to get yourself an extra 50% cold. But I'm not that scared of cold, especially with the way this plays, because, you know, nothing's like shooting cold at you across the screen. And the stuff that does is, like, look at this, fanaticism, melee, and all they can do is be sad. Now they're just really sad. They're just having a sad life. They're not having a good time. Like, they're like going on the Diablo 2 message board to be like, oh my god, dude, it's CC, I can't even play the game, I'm just stun locked. Like, that's what they're doing now. But they're not bothering us.
Good day.
And like, the only problem I'm having here is having to like go to frickin' Stinky Lysander to get his, you know, filth potions, because it's all frickin' undead here and I have no mana leech. But it also shows that I don't actually need mana leech, so, you know, I could drop that ring, grab a dwarf star. And the curse goes on, and they're just, look at this guy. He's just getting bullied by the Valve. He can't do anything. He's genuinely sad. And again. And they've all been tagged, though this guy hasn't. So they can block, which is annoying, but that's okay. Like, getting everything tagged is the first stage of any fight with this setup. Once it's all tagged, you're just happy, and they're just sad. knockback, he's dead, the Valk just bullies him and he dies. And the curse goes on. And like people say the curse is like not reliable enough. I'm like, yeah, look, not if you're a speedrunner, not if you're doing this and that. But for like a casual person who just wants to like clear the game, like just play through hell with a boas on, which is one of the most fun ways to play the game. You know, machine gun archer without needing like, you know, the most busted equipment, without needing a wind force or something you're gonna have to spend like, you know, a week on Mephisto for or a month on Pindle for. Instead, you know, you've got this bow that you can like you can play a freeze Amazon or a Javazon, like through Nightmare, and like farm this bow on Nightmare Mephisto with it, and you know, and then just reset and be like, oh, cool, I got like this. The bow's on the track. Like, this is the first potion I've drawn, I think, maybe two. And like negative fire resist, fighting, you know, fire mages. And it's so safe. So like, you'll see something with slow is that there are a lot of enemies that slow just actually breaks. Where they have animations that now they get timed out of their own animation, and then the animation like hard resets, so they never actually get to do the thing that the animation is trying to get them to do. So, for example, Fallen Shamans can't resurrect. They just try to do, you hear the sound effect, and you see them like, you know, swoosh their little staff, and nothing happens. Like, it takes them so long that, you know, the game just like times them out of their own animation, and the animation just starts over from scratch. So they get stuck in the... And it's another boss pack, a boss pack of fire mages when I'm on negative fire resistance. This is almost why I kind of wish I'd like kept the hustle, just for the ease of, just for the quality of life of the run walk, and, you know, maybe put a Earth rune in the bow. But honestly, I could still do that. Like I can empty that socket, blow up just a freaking shower run. I don't care about that. So it's something I can definitely do, just for fun, to see how it goes. Because I would say, like, we're definitely not in like the hardest parts of the game. Like, I want to see how this goes in the Chaos Sanctuary. I already know, or I already suspect, that it's going to be very comfy in the Chaos Sanctuary. Now, Worldstone Keep and the Bile Chamber, the Throne of Destruction, getting there will be another story. Nothing in the throne, like the Bile Waves, is scary apart from the Council. And that's the main thing where I'm like, I might need to upgrade this bow just to be able to kill the Council, and also the Council fight in Travancore. But in Travancore it's really easy to like pull them apart, whereas in the Bile Throne Room you either like pull them all the way to the door and just skip the wave, or then we just tag everything and then just chillax. Like your Merc doesn't die. Like it's almost like playing a summon, right? Where like everything kind of I don't know. It's almost like playing a necromancer or something. Like the poison necromancer as he should have existed. Like you've got your tanks, your wall. Oh, Radaman's in. Alright, we'll just take this nice and slow. I don't want to take any silly risks. I say I don't want to take any silly risks, and then I take a pretty silly risk, but this is fairly safe because we do have knockback. Everything has been tagged, everything is slow. We just need to get out of this little corner, and there we go. Oh, what a shitty position to put him in. But yeah, now Radaman's just going to be depressed. He's just not going to have a nice time here. And, you know, I can just chill and let the Valk beat him to death. Or, you know, proc some open wounds, do my part. He's lost the curse, so, you know. So getting the curse on, part of this is just like getting lucky. And there we go. And that goes on, and he just gets nicely chunked down. Oh, he's got teleport. I barely noticed that my Valk got dropped there. It's taking a long time to kill Radaman, but it's fine. Not in any danger. The only thing I'm in danger of right now is running out of energy. But it's fine. I've been picking up more jubies than I've been using. I've got so many. I'll just eat some jubies. And down he goes. Nice, safe Radaman fight.
Atma has been avenged.
Like, I killed Radaman a lot faster than that with my sorceress, but it wasn't that safe. And similar, no, the barbarian had a really easy time of it because it just hounded everything away, ran in and beat him to death.
Good evening.
Oh, and yeah, I'm just holding this now because this is what I use this going through Nightmare because I always like to have MF when I'm just like clearing the game. You, on you go. And yeah, so I do have some stuff like a Geet's Fortune that like I really shouldn't have, but you know, what's the harm of me having some MF that something cool could drop? And all these charms that like either I found them, the ones that I muled over were the poison damage ones. I think this one I might have muled over, but it was by accident. But yeah, so like this one I actually found on her, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, the non-poison damage ones, for the most part, I think I found. Like, I definitely found this one on her. I found... I don't know. Actually, I think I found this one on her, which was really nice. So, you could min-max this so much better. Like, the poison charms, I just have on because they feel thematic to me, and I had a few. But there are far better things you could put on than poison charms. You can, oh yeah, skill-wise, basically same as it was before, just maxing the normal bows on skills, and, you know, getting that Valk up there, because, you know, when the Valk can't really get overwhelmed, she can just chunk her way through stuff quite nicely. And now, out into the desert, which now, I really wish I had my hustle here, and... yeah, I knew this was going to be a bit of a test. Lightning everywhere, these guys. I forgot to get mana pots. But I consider these guys and even normal lightning enchanters to be the most dangerous thing. Because, you know, me tagging them doesn't slow down their, you know, how often they spew out lightning. That's actually based on how fast I hit them. And as you can see, like, everything about this is just like machine gun load. But also you see, without the mercenary, it takes quite a bit longer to chunk through stuff. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I don't need to worry about eating potion after potion after potion now, because we're out in the desert. But at the same time, the way I play this game, like, I don't clear whole areas. You know, I'm looking at the exit. I'm just not, you know, the best when it comes to finding exit. But look, everything is just crippled. Nothing. So sad. It's so chill to play as well. Like, out in these open areas, it's literally just a turkey shoot. You don't have to think about much. It's in the confined areas where you have to do a little bit of like strategizing and thinking around things. Because the only things that threaten this are like, you know, positional problems. Like, that's really freaking dangerous. Come on, that is a boss pack of beetles with conviction on. And I didn't even notice they had conviction on until they were almost all dead. In a completely safe fight. I don't think I even got scraped. And look at this, because we're playing on players 3, we just keep getting more and more levels. So like in these open areas where we can just really use the range advantage, like just ruthlessly keep stuff like on the edge of the screen. It's just too safe. Like the legitimately only thing I was even a little bit concerned about here are those guys, the beetles. And I am worried about how they're going to be in the maggot lair. So that's going to be a big test. Like, I'm more concerned about the maggot lair than the chaos sentry and the bar waves. But the World's So Keep, if there are souls, that's going to be a real test as well. Tag the beetles, you know, try not to stand in the most like lightning infested patches of area, but not worried too much about getting sparked once or twice. Alright, now these guys, dangerous. But see, ranged enemies we can just outrange. Tag them all with multi-shot. Like in an open area they're so safe. They become way more dangerous in a cramped space. But that's where like the fun of playing the build comes in. Like I'm pretty sure we could do this on Players 8. It's just gonna take more time, and I don't really have much MF, so it feels like a waste. But I guess I could crank it up to Players 5. Let's see. This does make the game like more dangerous because enemies do more damage as well. These guys are not going to spawn in on players 5, but we'll see. No, I should have gone the other way. But always in Act 2, in the desert, I just pick a direction and then hug the wall. And usually I do go in the other direction, and usually it is the other direction, but yeah, sometimes we get this. And I don't know if their players survive. We'll see. I'll probably really notice if there's a beetle pack, because I don't have the static to help like shoot them down. Okay, these definitely have to play as well. I could be wrong though. Like, it's comical how safe this is, considering, you know, the garbage that I'm using. And this is, like, I can take the Dural shell off. I could literally do this, like, without, you know, we can just run around naked for a bit and see. You know? Like, the most, like, scuffed, horribly negative resistances. Just pressing one button, not even wearing armor, nothing, and it's just the safest thing. You know, archers, they should be scary. They can't even complete their animations. This is definitely players fight. Like, these guys are tanky. But 60 damage bow. Players 5, hell. Comfy, safe. Like, I could take a nap doing this. Like, again, don't get me wrong, it gets stressy when you go into like the maggot lair or something. And like, they're probably scary as hell, but look, we just tag them from off way safe out of their range. Make sure, let the valve come up. Let the valve pull the aggro, and another little bit of spray. You know, just again, we're just like collecting rubies, but we're not using them because, like, what can they do? Nothing. Look, the Valk just kills it. This is a boss pack of birds. We just tag everything with the multi-shot. They're slowed. Oh, they're cursed. They're just depressed. They're not having a good time. Like, I'm a little bit concerned about this bird, but I just do some strafes. He gets pushed back. You know, do a few strafes, do a few multi-shots. Like, make sure everything has, you know, the moves on it. This takes time. But it's fine. Look at that. And they're just gone. They're just gone and we're just happy. Like, we're happy, they're sad. This is a boss bird. I don't even, like, what's his name? I don't know. He's not gonna get on my screen. He can't. He's not permitted. Look. He's just being bullied. He's bullied away. Like, if, like, you're not a a hero. You're not a Amazon. You're a janitor when you play this. So you're just going around with a broom, like bullying everything off the screen, sweeping it away. It's not a fight. You know, and like, yeah, your weapon does like broom damage, but it doesn't matter. Like, look, you just bully them. It's so beautiful. I love it. Like, and it's crazy that like, you know, 3 guys take the same, like, you know, roughly the same time to kill as, you know, an actual size would. And look, extra fast. Normally kind of scary, but we just tag them. And they beat them out. And Scorch and I, we just wombo combo them. Like positionally a little bit dicey on that corner. We want to like clear this lane first, but it's fine. We'll just come back. And look, like what's this bird gonna do? It can't take off because the animation breaks. It tries to take off. Like, I can like have a coffee and just come back and then just shoot it again to like knock it back. Ooh. That's a pretty nice Fury base. Sorry. Hustle base. Or dog or a bear or something. It's like, this is like a little bit dicey, like having to sort of come around this corner, but you know, we just knock him back. We just get him out of our space. And then you know, did the Valk get him or did the open wounds get him? Like these guys, the guys with the potions, they're super dangerous to us because the potions have like a huge extra. But look at the knockback, they just get bullied. I love it. And like I say, you can do this, like you can just wear the Clegs if you really want to, like, you know, just unbuckle the belt and take a big dump on the game. You know, you can actually bring some hard, like really strong bow, you know, like an eagle horn or something, and just put the Clegs on. The 20% slow is still completely devastating. Enemies is having a really bad time. Ghost. Look at the 60 damage bow, just chunk down this player's 5 champion. Now, you see what I mean about how strong amp damage is, like how much it, like how this thing, like, you know, it barely tickles, and then once amp damage procs, it suddenly starts like doing chunks. Like, now imagine it were upgraded. Imagine it's on the elite base and is literally doing like, you know, 2.5 times the damage just off rip. And then you get the amp damage proc. So you just wanna tag them all, get the Valve, get the aggro. It's just so safe. One button. I could throw some more on it if I want to like feel. You know, if I absolutely have to tag something, I can bonk it with a tracking arrow because they can't miss. We've got options. We've got tools. I just don't need to use them because Strafe is so freaking OP. Is the yeah, I want to get to the fire oasis. But you see, it takes quite a bit longer without this way. But I love this setup. Like anything that that allows your like mercenary to not die can be a really safe way to like do things, like crazy things, like even just like bear druid who just, you know, ends up just like spamming maul on a, you know, really dangerous pack of enemies while the mercenary just like slowly chunks them down, which is like, that's, you know, a little bit too slow for my liking, but any, you know, anything that gives you tools like that is cool to me. These jerks. And these are immune to physical, but oh, look at the boy go. He just chunked them. But once they get amp damage, it doesn't matter. That strips their physical immunity. Getting on them can cost a decent chunk of mana, but that's fine. I can't believe how quickly that mercenary just chunked and players alive. Oh, this is the second boss battle. And just bullied into irrelevance, they can't do anything. And I'm kind of more concerned with looking for mana pots, so I don't have to go back down. Oh, this thing's gonna take a little while. Oh, hold on a second. See how I can suddenly leech from them again once they're... and damaged. But see, like, you can chunk through them like this. What's that? Okay, there's a fanaticism aura. There's a lot of that.
I need mana.
Cool stuff. possibly about to fall over? Or did we just turn that? Like, that was a collection of genuinely horrible things in terms of, like, nasty auras, huge swarm of physical immunes, and coming into it with basically no mana, because I'd been way too lazy about refilling pots. And just did fine. But as I said, the maggot lair is going to be a concern for me. If I can find it. What I mean about like the positioning can get you in a lot of trouble, and that was just me being impatient, like wanting to run through and find the stairs.
Blessings to you.
It's going to take a lot of patience to get through the Claw Viper Temple and Tarash's tomb. These things, they can't, because I can't get the amp damage on them. They're just like unbearably tanky. Okay, if this is up here, that will typically mean the entrance is down there. But the entrance also loves to spawn near lakes like this, so... But I don't think it's up here. Oh, I was wrong. Bit of a squabble here to get in the maggot there, but... it's all good now. And this is an area that I am concerned about. See, that's kind of what I'm hoping not to have happen. Because then, to be safe, like, kind of the only thing I can do is fling the... Oh, and he has conviction. Super safe stuff. this is just a spot where it's like, okay, I have the tools that I know I can get this done. It's just going to take a little while. But if the alternative is going around that corner and just dying. We got straight max. Yeah, now I'll go rinse that curse off. I don't want to go around the corner with freaking ant damage on us.
Good evening.
It's just way too stupid. Getting pushed so far back. Alright, now I want to turn right. I shouldn't have run into that room. I think I'm kind of wasting my time. Nor was it the right turn. One of the few things, one of the rare times when I actually have any amount of poison resistance, which is probably true of a lot of people, because if you min-max in this game, you... Yeah, we just want to like really spray everything down, spray my cursor. Now everything is pretty paralyzed. And this is the clear time place fight, like with the mercenary not really helping. These guys are tanky enemies. I don't mind. Because as long as I can just stand here, press this button, watch them dying, and not be dying myself, then I'm in a happy place, and they've got a lot to be sad about. And finally lost the battle. I had a feeling there was something nasty in there.
Not enough mana.
We're super safe here, and the only, as I say, the only thing I have to worry about, even in the like, really long fight, is running out of arrows. But down he goes, and and it would have been a lot faster. Mercenary in here. It also would have been a lot faster on players 1. Yeah, those guys are assholes. Let's grab some more energy.
Greetings.
So this is one of the few areas that I was concerned about. And yeah, it doesn't seem like, you know, we're not through it yet. But it seems okay. You know, it's a bit of a grind. Because the Merc really is part of our damage strat. When we get good positioning though, and they're just stacked up like that for the curse, shoots them pretty nicely. I didn't even feel the need to pause it.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, there's still an elite alive here. Oh god, I hate these guys. Way, but I do want to make sure that that jerk isn't going to sandwich us. Is this the elite grape one? No, no way, not with 100. Huh, okay. I really thought that it was going to be that. Look at the ticks on the open wounds with enhanced damage, even on players 5. It's so nice. This is just a shooting gallery. Like, you get so much free damage on the punch through. Like, this is no Merc helping me. These are players 5 beetles. That was silly, and that's exactly the kind of spot that I felt was likely to be troublesome in this area. But I should just summon the Valk around the corner. But the turn right trick has been failing me quite a lot. Didn't give me any favors on Nightmare either. But I don't mind spending extra time here just because it's like this was an area that I was like alarmed about. Like thinking like how hellish it could be. It's fine. Like it's not the quickest. But you see what I mean about amp damage kind of being equalizer, where it's like in these like long fights, everything just ends up amp damaged. Like it's almost good to have everything clumped up. You get so much free value from the pierce, and then the curse gets so much value. Like, these guys in the open desert were taking a lot longer to chunk down the heads. And this is just so safe. But I will crank it back down to players 3 because I feel like the clear time there was like, you know, it wasn't like blitz, but it wasn't like slow. Like this is slow, but it's so safe. Like I wouldn't care about doing this players 8. That was a bit of a risk, but I thought we've got knockback, and only one of them can attack me at once. Oh, okay, that was trying to get in. And look, just clear it out. And the knockback just adds this amazing extra layer of safety. It just CCs everything so nicely. Those guys are tanky as. These guys, they're immune to like anything that the Merc can do. They're going down. Oof. I should probably be looking for floor arrows, but I don't want to open the door if I can avoid it. Worried about the maggot there, and now it's just like and now we got these big twats who are so okay. I'm gonna try to like push up really far in my hope of getting my rush to come in here. kind of took a little while, but it can take a while. See, like, when there's multiple enemies, your ability to proc amp damage, you know, the tighter back they are and the more of them there are,
Good day.
your ability to proc that
Let's go
curse
see you.
is so much better. And that's one of the reasons why I say, like, positioning is such a power when you're playing with something like this, because you want to be funneling things into chokes and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, so yeah, maggot lair, not a problem. But I should have known, obviously, as an Amazon is going to get a lot of free value from Pierce in narrow tunnels. You know, what I was worried about was, like, you know, coming around some of those, like, tight corners into a bunch of, like, death beetles. Now I kind of have to clear this tunnel, just so we don't get swarmed by those shites. But, like, it just clears it. It's fine. Like, when they're stacked like that,
I am overburdened.
they just do not have a good time. And I get so much free damage from just, like, having the curse always procced. Oh, nice, so accurate. And then, you know, arrows just piercing and piercing and piercing. No, I want to come forward just a little bit. Hopefully we get this guy. Yeah, so this guy is immune to physical. He doesn't have the curse on him, but he's getting chunked by the lightning quite nicely. And if the curse goes on him, you know, he loses his physical immunity. But yeah, you go through a lot of arrows. No denying it. Like, the Valk wasn't even tanking from me. They just could not get through that doorway because of the knockback and the slow. And I'm amp damaged, and I'm perfectly happy to stay here. The Valk is amp damaged, and I know she's not going to get melted. Because everything that she's fighting can, like, barely complete an animation, so it can't do damage. I don't want to fight you. All the same. So again, like, huge mess of trouble. And we just grind through it. We just chew slowly. We just gnaw our way through it. I mean, I don't even think it's that slow, to be honest. Like, to play a build like this safely, you're always kind of be slow. But this is like, if I were going to do hardcore completion, you know, obviously I would do the safer stuff first.
Good day.
There's
And
nothing
then you
the right
use that to,
potion
like,
can't
you know,
cure.
farm for the less safe. Damn, I thought I would almost be out of arrows. I felt like I had just spammed them. But yeah. Like, Boazon is one that I would tend to kind of leave very late, because if you're struggling with a Boazon on Hell, a lot of the time it's just because you don't do enough damage. And that's not an easy fix. Like, you could genuinely spend weeks grinding Mephisto. And even then, like, I'll rave about a bow like, oh, Goldstrike Arch or Cliff Killer, and they're good, but, like, if the bow itself is your main source of damage. Like, one, you're going to get, like, your life is going to be suffering because of physical wounds. Strong enemies will still, like, overwhelm your Valk and, you know, kill your mercenary, even if you have like a really good tag team. I don't want them, like, now that they're activated, I don't want them just pooping out eggs. You're not fire and shit, are you? Oh, holy shit. Alright. Kill these back. I booked it out of there at like exactly the right moment. Remember, I have like negative cold resist, even with Dural Shell. It's not beyond possibility that Nova could one-shot. Yeah, so like these are the areas that I'm like, okay, this is where the Nightmare doesn't feel safe. But if you were doing this hardcore, you'd probably bring a teleport staff and just get out of here as quickly as possible, and certainly not be messing around in like horrible tunnels like this. But it's like, I can kind of relatively safely go into melee with stuff as long as I can tag it right away. Like, that's the only time when I feel like I'm in danger. Like, if something, it's got to be dangerous, like saying they can really chunk my health, and it's right on top of me, and, you know, for whatever reason, I'm just not tagging it, either because of what Strafe wants to auto-target, or, you know, because presumably my attack rating is just not that great, which is kind of gross, considering I have way more dex than most. Oh, okay, I see where I didn't go. Like, and this is a left turn. Like I said, the right turn thing just hasn't been treating me well on the maggot lair. And oh, I already found the exit and just okay, I just brain farted on it. So the exit was a right turn. All right, I don't know. Good thing it's visible on the minimap. I just wasn't looking for it. Anyway, I'm kind of having fun with this. You know, a lot of builds you just want the gameplay. Like, I got so, like, you might have heard, like, anyone who was watching might have heard a little bit of Tilt when I was playing my Barbarian. You know, and I just wanted to get through the game. Like, I had plans for what I wanted to do with him, and, you know, playing through hell can be painful. Oh, this is potentially a really nice find. Ethereal. Oh, that's right, we can't get an ethereal thing. I don't actually want to go that way, but look how long it takes to kill one isolated beetle. But as soon as you get some pierce and yeah, once that curse procs, this 60 damage bow will do crazy things.
Not enough mana.
Just have to kind of dig the heals in, get everything tagged. And then that was 100% my fault. But we're safe now. Like, you know, when you have CC, the crazy situations you can like get into, and then just like you have to take it a little bit seriously, but you can play yourself out. But of course, the best strategy there would have been to not run into that room. But you know, the whole point of this video is just to show how safe this is and how free it makes the game. But even with my sorcerer, even with my sorceress, it was another one of those situations where, like, towards the end of the game, I was just like, okay, I want this done, especially Act 5. You know, and I was doing, like, really crazy teleports to just, like, through areas. Oh, I can pop the Wisp Projector on as well. That's cool. So I could also use that to get charges. I probably lose a lot of attack rating. But honestly, that level 16 lightning is... Alright, let's just test this
How
out.
may I help you?
And oh my gosh, look how much it costs. Wait, do I not even have enough gold? Can I even... Because I hate using an item and then not having it... You know, not having all the charges in it. Man, the price of that was crazy. Oh, I forgot to get my mustache. I am a doofus. But yeah, if I were going to genuinely do a hardcore playthrough with a bows on,
I bet you.
this is the setup I would look for hell. Because, like, normal you can complete with, like, you know, Tau bow, although that's going to make the boss fights really painful. Here, we don't want smoke, we just want to, like, do this really quickly. Which, to be honest, probably means an absolute just big old spam of multi-shot. Spread that person around. 60 damage bow again, inhale. Clearing out the fanaticism. I feel like it wasn't letting us curse Cold Worm. That's one of the reasons that took so long. But he died, and we didn't. And now we see the Claw Viper Temple, which is another really super dangerous place.
Thus,
But it's... that's what I like about this. Is like it's in how you play it in those cramped areas. In the open areas, you just turn your brain off. There's nothing can mess with you because everything just gets tagged and then is just completely crippled. And you know, it can take a while to like chew through the area because stuff has a lot of health. And you know, for some masochistic reason, I'm playing this. Yeah, the Merc really chunks them. Good lad. And we want to find the way out, which is probably downstairs, but... Get it. It's like one enemy takes so long. It's just how strong the curse is. Like you put the curse on, stuff just dies. Like if you're playing a melee character in this game and you're thinking like, you know, I just can't do damage in hell. 100% I tell you, get something like, and like, if it's feasible with your build, right? Because obviously if you're playing like a berserker where, you know, you're not even attacking the adds, you're just howling everything away, and then, you know, you're kind of 1-2-shotting a few elites and then moving on. Alright, that's not going to work with this, because the chance to actually proc is low. But if you're playing a zealot, totally. Like, you know, like a fanaticism zealot with a reasonably fast weapon, like you're just like you proc this on mobs constantly. It's never going to be as good as a Cripplezon because you don't have pierce, you don't have that. But like, oh, a throw bomb. Like, hell yeah. Like, if you've ever thought, like, how do I deal with physical immunes as a throw bomb, you know, what do you, like, walk up and just like, put one point in berserk? Like, that's, you know, that's a strategy, but if it's a big pack, you don't want to be, like, you know, walking through all of them because you're not built for it, you don't have a shield or anything. You know, the like, obviously there's the loot answer of just like, okay, just farm the pistol until you have 2 glimmer shreds. Yeah, that's doable. I mean, I've farmed 5 glimmer shreds or something just in a couple of weeks that I've been playing. But this is pretty good too. And I guarantee you this would make, you know, some like basic, you know, the basic, I think it's the Francisca, the Scalper, the one that has open wounds. Just get a couple of them. Grab a couple of them, get this. I mean, the Barbarian wouldn't be as safe because he just doesn't have the AoE to like, you know, tag everything so quickly, but still very safe. He also doesn't have that, but you can have Holy Freeze Mercenary or something. But look at the statics. I know you can get static on a desert mode with Crescent Moon. Damn, did I just do a full loop of this, like, it's called the upstairs area, and not find the exit? No, wait, I think that's the exit there. I just walked past it because I'm just playing with my brain turned off tonight. And I'm playing as if I have cleared this area and have nothing to worry about. When actually, I just went around the wall. But we're fine. So this is a really dangerous area that I don't want to spend too long fighting in. Because these guys can, like, you know, you want everything in front of you basically. These guys want to surround you. AoE projectiles are super dangerous, which is what the other guys do. Some nice zombie minions. I was hoping that jerk might drop a mana pot. Of course he didn't, because, you know, the game hates me, life hates me. I was only put in this world to suffer.
Yes.
All that stuff.
Hello.
What a jewel.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to my shop. Hello. Alright, there should be stairs somewhere. You're really dangerous. Actually, they're not that dangerous because they're the poison ones. And yeah, the one thing I have on this scuff freaking build is like half the poison resistance. But poison is not dangerous. Anyway, it's just a huge inconvenience. Also, I forgot to get mana. But assuming I'm not going to be running into like a massive skeleton, maybe I don't need it. Any fear of either of you coming up here? Okay, we'll just teleport them up here with Town Portal, because I have enough mana to freaking resummon the Valk.
Good day.
Good day.
I don't want to like let their stupidity get me killed, like running. Pardon me. Like running. Okay, I thought I'd stop sneezing and then I just had to kind of mess with me one last time, but yeah, basically I didn't want to like run way out in the hope of like dragging them up and then, you know, risk aggroing something that would be problems to deal with on my own. These guys are so harmless. They're tagged, they can't move, they can't do anything. EV's rest, and wait. Which is really what depression is kind of like sometimes, so I sympathize with them. And I suppose that's something I can really say about this build, is that like you hurt things so much that you end up sympathizing with them, and I don't want to get blown up by that, so yeah, I don't sympathize so much that I want to die when they die. Nice. There should be a skill issue shrine though, that just like gives you -1 to all skills. Like these guys are so tanky. Like see with like max level frozen orbs or just like, I mean that is on players A, intense, but how long it takes to grind through them. This just gets it done. Like it's grindy too. Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is grindy. I do not mind it. When is this safe? Yeah, I don't want to fight them because they're just in a really terrible position. They've all been tagged. I don't have to worry about them like chasing after me, causing me problems. I just tag them and I can run on. Is a temple. Now this is another area that I felt like potentially very dangerous. It's always potentially very dangerous.
I hope I know what I'm doing.
So, alright. What's the key here? There's like a picture. Does this stop them resin? It does. Like, one of the most dangerous enemies in the game purely because of their ability to res. And it just turns them off. Trying to get an angle so I can like spray him. Oh, he just got burst and like popped. Oh my gosh, I came down here with no tempo. Like, kind of grind it out here until a scroll tap order drops. And to be honest, the more core vipers the better. I look at this unique core viper. Ain't nothing. Like the worst things that have happened are like 100% just me being a goober, like coming down with no GP scrolls.
I've been.
Alright. Maybe get arrows while I'm here. That could be smart too. I really wish arrows were a thing. Like, either make them part of the itemization, where like, you know, you can get affixes on them or something. I'm not going to but I have a very better idea of what's in there. Okay. Oh, okay, I think I got bonked by this holy shot. Troublesome with him being able to just continually res stuff around us while he just kind of chilled in the corner. Like, you know, that fight could have been a lot quicker.
Good day.
Hello.
But you know, the slow way was the safe way. Always like bullying my melee characters back with their little smite. And now they can be sad about getting bullied. You know, at this point, the fact that the bow doesn't kill fast, it's just like, I'm content. I want them to suffer for a little bit longer. That close to the way. A little bit dangerous because it's still like lots of core vipers in there. Yeah, see, this is what I mean when I say like positional dangers. And you just kind of have to like accept that the fight's gonna be grindy. But now I can just kind of chill. Just let her take care of that, and I'll just chip these guys down. trying to shoot both, but like to keep them both slowed. I really resent that they fucked up the way targeting works in this game. Presumably to make it controller friendly. But there are times when it's like, you know, there's two enemies and you want to be able to like tap one, tap the other, tap one, tap. You should be allowed to do that. Like stuff like that should be part of like skill expression, dare I say. But no, we can't have that. Because, you know, make more money. Sell the console. Like who's rezzing that? Oh, okay, the game's doing that. Man, I love when the enemy can, like, interact with shit through fucking closed doors. So, like, sometimes the game just literally makes you eat a dick in terms of like positioning, where it just pulls some bullshit like that, where like you're not going to be allowed to clear the room before the next mob is like already rezzing shit, and you're going to have to push into like a shit position to actually try to deal with the guys who are rezzing it, because like they don't actually need line of sight or anything. Like it's just like once the game decides they've been activated, they just res everything. That's fine. Like, it seems to have almost reset its bullshit, but then, like, not rezzing anything in that room now. Which is as it should be. And I don't care how long it takes to just, like... shoot cool stuff. I can't use my ability properly, though, like, it's just...
I need mana.
These guys are such a problem. They don't normally spawn in groups like this unless it's a boss pack. But this is fine. I'll just chip you down and multi-shot.
Not enough mana.
On the PS, you have to go back to the mana block or go back to the mana block.
I need mana.
Good day. Hello.
Hello. So I had a feeling these areas could get kind of grindy and frustrating. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad because, as I say, those guys don't normally spawn in like groups of 3, like all just sitting in the same tiny spot. But it's fine. think there's actually three here. Come on, game. It's not even a wall. Like, that's why we're having such a miserable time. There's like literally 5 of them. None of which give a shit for line of sight. But whatever. It's done, and it was safe. But this is the thing, was like one of the reasons why it feels so good to like bully the game with a mechanic like slow that just feels so cheap.
Greetings.
Because it's gonna do it to you.
Good day.
And you know, the reality is that like a lot of characters just have to save and exit and like re-roll that dungeon in that situation. Because it's like, what are you going to do if like you're a barbarian? You're going to just try to force your way through? Like if Hal, yeah, probably. But even then, fighting 5 of those mummies, like one after the other, they heal each other, they close And the other thing is, like, just these tunnels. My mercenary is, you know, being extremely useful. Rather than But yeah, that's the safe way to do it, is just spray them with a multi-shot. Just have his way with them. Another one's getting activated. And there's some stuff behind us somehow, but this could take a while.
I need mana. How may I help you?
But yeah, I don't mind this. Like, I thought this was going to be problematic in the sense of being dangerous. Not in the sense of just like being, you know, okay, it's a bit of a grind, it's a bit of a slog. Because I am not afraid of grind. You know, what worries me is like coming up against the wall, like something you just can't. A fight you just can't win. You have to just re-roll the dice. bunch of core ladders have to just come out from the grassy knoll, but that's okay. One of these guys goes down. We've got everything in here slowed. I'm not afraid of any of it. It's all about just killing for space and then using the space to get more kills. And just grinding it out, nice and safe. How much you want to bet it's down there?
I need mana.
Just get rid of the core rifles first. Even if it means wasting a lot of shots with the skeletons. Just chip this guy down. Down. I swear sometimes they just randomly like don't. They. I think it's because they have a block chance, which is a really annoying mechanic, by the way. So like guided arrows should always hit,
I am overburdened.
and yet there are times when like you just throw like 3-4 arrows at them in a row, and like you don't see their health go down at all, and you're just like, hold on, excuse me. It's because they're blocking. Which is a mechanic I
It
really
is an
hate.
honor to serve you.
It's just another thing in the game that like exists only to grief people who do physical damage.
Good morning.
But there we go. And now this we're gonna be very lots of multi-shot, nice safe distance. Now we've got 4 life this charm, and we can start spraying some strafe through here. And the main thing is we want to be tagging this guy.
Not enough mana.
Just, I mean, you spray the skeletons down before we can even like res them up. Just for a 60 damage bow, players 3 in hell. Come on, crazy. These guys are tanky. Here's our boy. The scariest beast in the game. And everything is slowed, everything is controlled. And we're just looking for that amp damage proc that's going to finish this fight. Resummon the valve. Nice and safe. You know, considering a lot of builds, their game plan in here is via teleport style. Teleport into the thing where nothing can get to you. Agree with Bangskin when he tells you that he's your daddy and you're afraid of it. And then, you know, pick up the thing and run away. Well, this is grinding, but how much danger have we been in? That's what I want to know. That's it. The whole area cleaned out, stomped out. We are not running away. We are swag walking away while the Claw Viper Devil explodes behind us because we're just that much without us.
I can't carry
And
anymore.
what can they do? Nothing. They're just bullied and done. Like, they just cry. Do I want that? Yeah, I was genuinely concerned that like Act 2 might not be something I could finish tonight,
Stay a while and
because
listen.
you know there would be some like really grindy areas in it, like the temples and the Arcane Sanctuaries. Need a look, but we'll see.
Halt! You may not.
I have heard it.
You may.
That's right. I need to go talk to what's his name first, Mr. Alright. Arcane Sanctuary time, boys. I'll try to get to it as quick as I can.
When the trouble.
Welcome.
Yeah, damn right. You changed your freaking tune. Your boss just told me I can come into the palace. Always nice when there's just a shrine there. Now, I want to be safe here. Like, I'm not just gonna run through. Because those one doors are dangerous. Not when I'm shooting. But if I'm running through, very dangerous. And I am kind of getting to the point where I'm like, maybe I should upgrade the bow. But this is still phase 3. They just curse, they die. Should I... Yeah, I'll grab the waypoint. And now all we have to worry about is like 2 more boss packs and we're in the Arcane Sanctuary, possibly not even 2 more. Okay, I didn't like that. And if they want to like come down here and fight, we can do that. But that's a really shitty angle. Like, you don't want to be trying to like 360 stuff when it's shooting back at you with the straight. You'll get you killed. Because you get locked in the animation. But now, if I wanted to, I could grind my way through it. I don't know if I do want to because it's all undead that I can't leech off, and I'm trying to keep my odds. This is the exact opposite of what you want positioning-wise in terms of like clearing an area relatively quickly. But it's fairly safe. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is that guy. We might just focus fire him a little bit, get rid of it. This is kind of not how you learn to do straight. However, it works. If they're dying and you're not, it's valid for me. Doesn't matter how long it takes. As long as it doesn't exceed your personal tolerance. Okay, how many boss packs have we had? It's just been like a string of them. So, the problem is, if I genuinely do max multi-shot, the mana cost will go crazy. Like, I'm already at the point here where my leech can barely keep up with it. But maybe I'll just pocket some skill points for now. And I didn't want to come all the way down this corner because I know that, you know, we want to go to the teleporter, but there was just like an endless freaking swarm of minions there. I kinda like to go kill Fire Eye. But it's fine. Let's go test this in the Arcane Sanctuary, one of the most like legendarily difficult places to clear.
First to find this arcane fortress.
So like Goatmen, narrow corridors, not. Who cares? Irrelevant. Don't even need the knife, but I'll chuck it off. So she can feel like she's contributing to have that feeling. I knew this would be slow going because the mercenaries got you know, pack of ghosts, it's a pack of ghosts. Doesn't matter. They're all just slow, they're all just depressed. They don't want to pee.
I can carry you.
I don't want to pee. You know? And now they're not here anymore. So it like works out perfectly. Now that's dangerous, extra buffs, but just tag that guy once. Very, very careful. Come on, when they're in a line like that. And we're cursed, and it just doesn't matter. I really should look for arrows on the ground. I'm so bad at that when I play Zons. What can these goats do? They have oh, it won't let me. Oh, that's so funny. These assholes, I hate these guys. They're so tanky normally. And yet, they suddenly seem manageable now. So like, get my foot, come up here. Speed things up. Yeah, like if you are having problems with ghosts, yourself an electrical really good against stack bosses as well because it's static. This guy is so tanky. But look at him, he's just being pushed out into space. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're joining the space program. Back. He came all the way back. Look how long it took him to come back because of the flow. It's just, it feels so neat. Oh, he finally died. Actually, putting them out of their misery. Like, I don't think they want to live. Look how sad they are. I had a feeling this area could actually be like, you know, grindy but harmless, and that's exactly how it is. And that's how pretty much every area has been. Another level for like getting to probably level 80 by the time I hit Marl, just because I can play like comfortably on a high player setting. Like, I have not been grinding this character. Like, I have not been doing like Eldritch Farms. The only grinding I did was actually in Act 1 in normal. And it was because I was playing with some... I hadn't made a Tau though because I wanted to test out some techniques. And I was playing with the unique crossbow, like the big one that fires explosive arrows, and it was just terrible. But I couldn't realistically equip anything. Like, so basically, it was either like farm Mephisto for a better weapon, like low-level bow, or you know just farm until I find a good base for like a Tau or whatever, or just grind it out with the terrible crossbow, get like 3 levels I think I needed, and then respec to physical Amazon, like with oh that okay, nice one. And then yeah, respec to a physical Zon. Cool find. Maybe I should hold on to that because there's something I can do. like, look at these ghosts. They're just... The only thing here is, let's just... Yeah, okay, now we can speed this up a little bit. As soon as the boy actually starts shooting, we'll see if these guys are going to fly this. You know what? Boston makes me feel good. And of course we didn't first wave, but look at this. They come charging at you, they're full of pep, and then just instantly depressed. They get arrows to the knee, they realize all of their aspirations have gone down. They say it's the most shattering experience of a young man's life, when he can quite reasonably say to himself that he will never play again. I think we might actually just have to ignore these. Just let them live. As long as they promise, you know, to stop being evil. And, I don't know. Go to church or something. Like, that was faster than it was with my barbarian. And it was safer than it was with my sorceress, because the sorceress, I just got tired of it and started teleporting like a psychopath. Which is like, you know, in theory, sorceress is the best class in this entire game. The safest, the fastest, the best DPS, everything. You know, and also has the power to just skip anything that, you know, causes her problems. And should basically never die. And almost all deaths with sorceresses are some kind of, you know, skill issue on your part. Listless, doesn't know what to do with its life, it's just overcome with ennui and existential dread, and you know, like the sad part is that like they want to die but they can't, they just want it to end. But they just have to like slowly like die of like depression and I hate these guys so much because of like the number of times they've messed up Mephisto runs. Like, you know, like everyone hates dolls, everyone hates souls. Everyone hates, you know, Michael, Fanaticism archers. A lot of people hate specters, can't blame them. They're pretty hateful. But to me, those Bloodlord guys are just the biggest jerks. Because, like, don't mess with my Mephisto. You know, summon the valve over there.
I need a key.
I should get a key, but you know what? I'm not. I just want to go up. ghost bikes back to the pavilion. Oh, look at that. Huge curse. Like, what are they gonna do? They can't. These ghoul lords, they're not happy. They regret all their life choices. Gross. And we can just walk right up to them. These are very safe ghosts. Once they've been treated with Look at this guy. He's joining the space program. Not the least bit concerned about just mercilessly plugging these guys all over here. That's like, go on, go. Alright. I almost missed. Oh, it's just chest, yeah. Big side. Expect it can't be anything. Like, we could just go around here.
I need a key.
We can't open that because, you know, I'm introduced, I didn't carry keys. Portal back. I don't know why I walked back last time. I do actually know how to play this game. Like, I haven't been playing this game for a while.
Greetings.
Good evening.
I'm just a goober. I always like to look at that stuff.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to my shop. I'll get some keys. Like, I'm going through a lot of arrows, I will say that. That was like 500 arrows per thing, and she don't sell keys, we're close enough. Alright, there we go. We got keys. We got everything. Keys. We got fresh fish. We know where the lamb source is. These strokes. I hate these strokes. And positioning is going to be really important. We're just going to have some like slow fights. But that's okay. Ghoul Lords are tanky. Enemies are champs. But yeah, it's just everything here is like super spread out, so PS is like just no favors. And my mercenary is like really on the struggle bus. mind. I could always port them around if I really wanted to make this clean and easy. 100 gold. Teleport you mercenary in a fight. It's totally a reasonable thing. Sad ghosts, they're just depressed. Always sad ghosts. Bonus Christian Dalsey phone. Dregs. So at least there aren't a lot of enemies here. And a few just kind of clean up the dregs, but I probably could just safely run past a couple. But we're kind of trying to do a bit of a showcase of like just how silly this build is. Actually, what I am going to do is what I mentioned earlier, which is, you know, why worry about 100 gold scroll? When we can just clean up this fight a lot faster by bringing the mercenary over. Now I could actually use some health potions. I have a bit of life leech on the bow, so if I can leech back up to full, I don't mind pushing on the tubes. I just don't want to be like less than full while coming up against something dangerous, but these guys are not dangerous. They are kind of walking health pots that I can just leech off very safely. So here's another spot where I can like just TP my mercenary over. You know what? Why talk about it? And I'll just do it because this will be cleared so much quicker. Yeah, look at that. I do want to make a spears or something. We all do. We all have that. Like, there are some just degenerate things that Diablo players want to do when they have an account. Like, you know you're not going to enjoy it. You know it's going to be bad. You know other people have tried it. Like, you're not bringing anything special to the table in terms of like, oh, but I can do this and I can make this. Like, no. It's been done. It's been tried. Spherozones suck. And you know, like Poison Back and Necros suck, but like, you just have to do it. Like Poison Back and Necros, you kind of just have to do it because Poison Back is, like, it's such a cool skill thematically, and it should be good. It deserves to have something. It deserves to be good. The problem is, like, Well, when not, I have the worst luck in the islands. It's so bad. Because we don't even have the valve like tanking for us. Open wounds. Mercenary spent the whole fight just standing there. But yeah, you gotta do it to yourself someday. If you play Diablo 2, you gotta do a Poison Dagger playthrough, which is pain. Especially if it's God is solo self-found, I wouldn't be removed without it. Hardcore would be even more disgusting. But like Poison Dagger should just be a melee cast ability that like doesn't roll to hit. And then the other thing it really needs to do is it needs to... So here's the thing, right? Why do I run up to an enemy and try to hit them with Poison Dagger when I can Poison Nova and damage them faster? Because Poison Nova does damage over like 3 seconds. The timer never goes up. The timer on Poison Dagger goes up enormously. So you can apply a fresh Poison Nova every 3 seconds. So the actual DPS, and you can't stack poison. This is a huge mob. And this is when I say like the more enemies, the happier we are. Like watch this mob just get killed and chunked. And be completely harmless. The only thing I don't care about there are those two. And like this is a teensy bit dangerous because you don't want to be shooting backwards in a fight. And those lightning pylons were making me do that. And also I didn't resummon the Valk in front of me or anything, but it's just like a showcase of like
Good day.
It is an honor to serve
you can take some pretty crazy risks with a setup like this and just not be punished. And again, I can upgrade this bow. I can do way more base damage. But we are just, you know, going through the game, players through hell, with a 60 damage bow on a physical damage spear zone who doesn't care about stone skins or physical use. I don't know, you tell me how to do that without having some crazy setups. I just got whonked by a fireball. Oh, so we can actually take those lightning spires down not too slowly. I was genuinely about that. But yeah, fast bow plus legs is just the way to play strafe. Amazon, you're just deliberately setting yourself up to have a bad time. We do not take it that way. Oh, okay, look, he's static that down to half, I think. Like, he is actually damaging, I don't know how. I'm getting dangerously close to this fight because I'm trying to get away from the lightning spire. Like, I'm actually looking forward to doing the Chaos Emerald with this, as crazy as that might sound. Just normally the Chaos Sanctuary is pain, but I'm looking forward to the Beowulfs. Worldstone Keep, not so much. The jungle in Act 3, yeah, we'll see. Like, on one hand, there's a lot of, like, super mobile but, like, not particularly tanky enemies that just, like, a super fast strafe. You know, just physically clearing out the jungle shouldn't be too bad, but there's also a lot of lightning moves, and I get a lot of nice melee damage from this guy. On your bike, son, go for a ride. Man, this guy, even with end damage, it just takes very little from the hit moves. Okay, I do not want to get frost novid or something, so let's just... So you can just do like the dirtiest stuff like this, just like, yeah, I'm good, you know? I'm just gonna do this until I like don't see myself leeching anymore. Or need to go back to town for more mana pots.
Good riddance.
Nope.
Freak.
So that's one like nice, fun, safe, easy way to deal with the summoner. And everything up here is slowed. And then we just come back here. Teleport our Merc up because it'll speed the process up.
Seekers of
And there you go. Arcane Sanctuary, safe as houses. And
Faith, I feel good day.
welcome to my shop.
welcome to my shop. I'm feeling pretty comfy. Let's go. That said, hold on. I do need to use the bathroom, so I'll be back in a minute. Sorry for the delay. But we are back and ready to bully the rest of Act 2. Also, like, you can do this setup with just like, so like the more damage you have, the less slow you have, right? The less slow you need. Because the whole point, like the main reason I want the full lockdown is because I have this, the damage of this bow is so low, right? That I need that time for enemies to like bleed out, get the curse procced on them, or, you know, all that. But like, let's say I did upgrade this to an elite base, then, you know, I could probably drop the Blackthorn's face. I like the Blackthorn's face because I like the prevent monster heal and the lightning absorb, because lightning is something that I'm genuinely kind of scared of in this setup. But, you know, you could do that. You could swap it for something like a Rock Stopper, or, you know, just something that's going to give you like, oh, Kira's Guardian would be really nice. But you pretty much finish the game at the point you stick one of those on. But like, that's an option, right? And now your build that just got like way safer. But you could also say like, you know, okay, with the Kiras I have Count Me Frozen, so, you know, I could drop Duriel Shell and put a smoke on it and just try to like fully have like, really safe resistances. I don't think you need super safe resistances. Because this slows everything down, does elemental damage, now you use like your mobility, your physical ability to just kite projectiles, to just outplay the ranged enemies. The ones that remain scary are souls. Souls are going to be just, hence I've got as much lightning assist as I can, you know, realistically get, you know, and then also 2 sources of lightning absorb. I mean, look at this. Crushes. They're dangerous enemies. But they've just been tagged, so they're just helpless, they're just depressed. And they're just like bleeding out from the open wounds. Which, like, open wounds will get significantly better as I level. Especially because the effectiveness is going to double if stuff is cursed. But look at that, as soon as they're cursed, this 60 damage bow is suddenly hitting like it's a freaking Marisa or something. So like, when I say like, fast bow plus amp damage is your friend, like, can you imagine what you would be doing if you genuinely had, like if you actually did have the Witchwild stream set, which I consider to be like the best bow setup in this game, setting aside whatever god level busting the shit out of fucking one word that means 3 odds, and, you know, your mum's left hip to make. Or, you know, oh yeah, a wind force with a crushing blow or something, you know, just completely, you know, farcical that like, oh, you know, cool, if you have it, and you'll play through the game once with it, crush the game, probably not actually crush the game that much, because a lot of people like, OP items in this game like still don't make things that trivial. But, you know, you won't have an issue for damage, and your damage will be very on demand, which is powerful. You know, so you have a great time once playing through the game with Wind Force. You're not going to feel accomplished or anything, because, you know, who didn't know that you can finish this game with the best bow in the game? Or for that matter, Marisa, like, okay, yeah, sure. And I'm not trying to criticize anyone who wants to play with Wind Force or Marisa or whatever. Again, I've been playing this game for 20 years. I want to do things that people do. Look how good the EXP is as well. Because because I've just been going through the whole hell on players 3 to players 5. Just throw out some arrows there. This is a crusher minion. Very dangerous enemies that should have every chance in the world of like just beating the Valk to death and then pushing onto me. And they cannot do anything. They are totally freaking helpless. And since they can't kill my Valk, I just have all the time in the world to just slowly and safely go. Now that is... There is a good bow that uses 2 summons, but with 1 plus 3. So like this is a little bit dangerous, like when you get sort of pinched like this, but it's mostly a problem with like your clear time, because you know you obviously want to be hitting as many enemies as possible with this. But in situations like this, you just kind of say, alright, well let's just get everything locked down, and then we'll try to kind of corral it all together. And once you get everything packed in, it really can't move. And the curse will just proc really nicely. Like this guy's immune to physical, the curse will proc on him, and he's being chunked down by my mercenary. The curse procced on the guy behind him. There he goes. As soon as that procs on him, he can be chunked down quite nicely. And you see what it's weird, it's like it will take us longer to kill this one crusher. But yeah, it would be really nice to get like some, you know, +2 blown crossbow skills. IAS gloves, and then you could potentially take the shale out of the bow and put an F in it. Like that was my original plan, was to do it with the hustle. But I feel like the drill show just makes it safer. Although the hustle gives you a different type of safety, because just being able to move quickly and reposition, especially when everything is already slow, is quite strong. But the option is definitely there to put the hustle back on. To be honest, I'm high enough level now that I could probably go like, you know, Kira's Guardian and hustle. But I don't want to use anything high-end. Yeah, and look, now they're just like, they're just depressed, they're just sad, they're struggling. We spread a lot of overviews around with multi-shot, and now they're just all going to get cursed, they're bleeding, they can double down. And that's what I like about this build, like nothing has fun when you're playing this except you. Like ghosts and beetles, oh it's so dangerous, and yet look, we're just gonna like step back a little bit. And we just shoot them down like dogs. There's nothing they can do about it. They're not having a fun time. And the beetles just pop. Like it's... And now we've got a minion pack of ghosts, champs. And they're all anti... And the lightning is just going to absolutely destroy them. Absolutely bullied. They can't even attack the Valk. They're just... continuously like CC, bumped back, cursed, bleeding. It's freaking Depresso Expresso. Having to worst side. Like these guys, these Gorbellies, these are the most dangerous melee enemies in the game. These guys, Moon Lords and the big tree guys in that group. Easy the most dangerous enemies in the game. And they should just... minions of destruction. They should just chunk your something. But you don't. I don't know if I went the right way either, but... Yeah, so this is where it can get, like, you run into that room and potentially die. But... you just get an angle from the doorway, and you just make space. Yeah, we get the curse on that beetle, the stone skin beetle. And look at that, he's just bullied, he can't do anything. He isn't cursed, but... I just want to like physically shove him a long way back from the doorway so I can... And just chip him down. He's not physically immune anymore. Like he's not taking the bonus damage that amp damage can provide, because it won't do both on a physical immune. Another potentially scary thing. Champion back ghosts. And just not actually that scary. Right, so Merc gets a vision, he'll smell them. Down they go, one after another. Last one. One thing I am going to quickly check. Because I don't want to clear the whole of this tomb map. It should actually be the other way. So like, these are spots you want to like keep your eye on. Like, don't run past that hallway and then like, you know, deal with something down there while these ghosts are going to come and hit one of the videos. Not necessarily even because it's going to be really dangerous. But it's going to take you a lot longer to clear two groups of enemies in two directions. There's no way it's going to this is sick. But we've got everything cursed, we've got everything slowed. We're super safe here. It's like, you just get a couple lined up and immediately the damage starts putting the work in. I need to get some mana potions just in case they're up. Really happy there weren't any unravelers in here because they do make slow going on this build, but they're very safe to fight, and you do just kind of, you know, eventually you just get lucky on like a good set of like curse procs, and you just melt all their minions and then can start chunking them, or you just keep tagging them every now and then with Pierce, keeping prevent monster heal on them, you know, keep slowly chipping them down with open wounds, and it's really grindy and slow, but it's very safe. And like, look, these steel scarabs, these should be important. Like, these are one of the enemies that should be really dangerous. Because my mercenary can't help me with them down. They hit hard immediately, so they're a threat to the Amazon. And the whole death by 1,000 cuts approach that this build takes is,
I am overburdened.
you know, kind of exactly what they want you to use, because, you know, like, ideally with those guys, you want to just one-shot them. So they don't get a chance to pump out too much life. But yeah, look at, like, running up to orbitals. That's how safe it is. And just bully them into a corner, not letting them out. Just telling them they have to eat, like, a handful of ants, and, you know, tell us, like, where they're at before they can leave the corner. Like, you just time out everything. And they're just so crippled. It's like playing some weird... Like, this is what, like, Poison Necro should feel like to me. Because it's not just damage. Because Poison Necro is, like, really terrible unless you have godly gear. And then it's, like, one of the most broken things in the game. Like, you can just walk into, like, level 90 dungeons, press one damage, one button, and in 2 seconds, the entire screen full of enemies just gone. Because they have no poison resistance, and there are so many ways of multiplying poison damage in this game. Like, you've got, like, Trang's gloves, like, there's a bunch of things on Trang's set. You've got Bramble. Then you've got, like, lower resists. So, if you have, you know, a Poison Sunder Charm, like, you just automatically make the Sunder Charm work by just putting lower resist on stuff. Whereas, you know, a Sorcerer or something has to either have some, like, really crazy high-level items, or, you know, shop a lower resist one. And, like, this is grindy. Because the Merc can't help us, so we're very much at the mercy of the damage procs. But grindy and safe, not a problem. Grindy when you have, like, reliable AoE that will just kill everything if it's given enough time and enough CC to get that time safely. And yeah, again, like, even just things like, I'm playing with, like, Poison Charms, because, like, haha, funny, Cripplezon. When, like, in reality, you know, plus damage attack rating charms are still gonna be way stronger. And I could be getting, like, way more utility from my charms than I am getting. I've made a pig's ear of this temple. But yeah, look at this. We just walk up to them, and I don't care. Like, what are they going to do now? This guy's going to wind up, and I just literally... Sorry, son. I just literally walk over. Can't do that. And I was like... He could have just been knocked back. But for whatever reason, the knockback didn't trigger, so I just walked back, and who cares? Like, what are they going to do? Come after me? Like... They can't even move. They're like swimming. Like they're swimming in, you know, freaking molasses or something. Meanwhile, we're just living the free and easy life. Machine gun going everywhere. It's so fun. I will probably upgrade this for... Like, I want to see how far it can go. Like, before it gets genuinely, like, unpleasant to play, like it's really taking way too long. Or maybe the damage will just hit a wall on some boss pack or something. Yeah, like you can just do this so safely. And then once everything is locked down, I can like come in here and just look for a better angle to do damage from. And, you know, down they go. And remember, I can put this on players 1. Like, this is on players 60 damage. I could put this on players 1, or I could put this, or I could upgrade the bow with the pole rune. But I feel like a pole rune is very RNG. Like, you couldn't say, like, there's no way I could say to someone, like, here's this really cheap, easy build to get, but you need to get a pole rune. Like, because the only part of this build that's, like, mandatory are, like, these 3. Like, everything, this. Or even, I would say, just these 2 and this. Everything else, you can kind of play your own way. I would definitely recommend having Goblin Toes. I have Gore Riders because I actually value the armor more. So what I would do is I would use, actually just use some like dual 40 res boots for like more general sort of fighting, and then put your Goblin Toes onto the rock bosses. Or if you've got them, use Gore Riders. Just a bit of like quality of life, less swapping. But you do definitely need crushing blow from somewhere. Because these big boys, for example, they take a bit of time, even when they're cursed. Of course, it curses the beetle, not the... We're just chipping this guy down. But he's done, and he was harmless. They actually got the... They did manage to get the Valk down to about half. Like, not a lot has killed the Valk so far. And here's just another one of those, like, absolute hell rooms. Like, you would hate to have to go into that room as, like, a Frenzy Barb. Or, you know, a Zeal Paladin if you didn't have, like, really, you know, high-level gear. Something in there has cursed. Like, you could run into that room as a Frenzy Barb and, like, first of all, you're just, like, chewing everything up, having a great time, and then suddenly you're cursed, and then you realize that, like, oh, there's no clear path back to the door. It's either, like, Clutch Oral or Brown Pants save an exit time. Because you can't fight cursed and all that. You just die. Oh, Ed Mana Burn? Like, that's a room that where melee characters just go to die. You curse, you get mana burn, you're dead. And our Valk was just cursed and just tanked all that without caring. And then it's like, I just got donked there and it was dangerous, but it was 100% just skill issue on my part. And the damage was only relevant because I was cursed. Could have gone back to town to have the curse taken off. Could have played a little bit slower. But like, I'm just not using potions. So safe. Let's just really spread some beads around here. Start straight in. Nice line like that. More just keeps piling in. I'm fine with that. The denser, the more enemies, the happier I am. The more value you get from Pierce, the more value you get from Curse. And these ghosts are all just sad now. The beetles. Like, a beetle just runs on, gets on top of me, and just instantly knocked back. you know, like 7 tiles away. And it takes him a week to walk, you know, to walk those 7 tiles. Now, it should be left down here, I think. Oh, actually. I mean, I could pump these a little bit. I don't really want to like max multi-shot because then multi-shot itself becomes way less comfortable to use because the cost is really silly. But it buffs strafe, and strafe is like buff body as well. So I'll just chop bots if I have to. I can also probably put on a ring that just has more mana leech and be okay. Like I've got 4% leech or something, which is very low. Because you have to remember, you're doing half, like, everything has 50% damage, physical damage resistance in hell, so your leech is also effectively halved. And my damage is already quite low, so that would actually be one big advantage of upgrading the bow. Like the exit, Juriel fight, and you watch, the Juriel fight is going to take a long time. I'm going to go back to buy arrows, even though I've got a bunch. But it is going to be so safe. Because A, Juriel is going to be static down to half very quickly. Whew, that's a lot of stuff. Alright. So like this is where multi-shot is so good. Like everything in there is just bleeding. Like, look at the ammo. Look at what the freaking Valk is tanking right here. Absolute Chad Valk gives 0 shits about anything. Like, you could realistically do this better if you had a really good melee mode to take advantage of the amp damage and give you more damage. Like, you could have might / fanaticism, you know, with a hustle on the desert mode. And just have him and the Valk run around like butchering everything, but I kind of wanted to show off this guy. I do have an ethereal hustle and it's kind of tempting just to see how machine gunny I can get my mana potions, thank you. And a heal, why not? Look at this guy, he's still just like I didn't even realize he wasn't dead, and he was so irrelevant. All he could do was just stand there and be sad about it. Like, they don't even notice me. God, I'm so irrelevant. I just breathed and CC'd out of relevance. One thing, he is really nice against ghosts. But yeah, like, I can throw on a desert merc. It would be nice if I found yeah, okay, so I'll actually keep an eye out for desert merc equipment. Like for the drops. So if I see an armor that I can turn into a smoke. mind you, against ghosts. This is the exit, but honestly, I'm having so much fun just clearing these rooms. Like, when was the last time you played Diablo 2, if you're not new to the game? And we're just like happily going through killing everything. Like, not just trying to like rush the exit. The EXP is so decent as well, it's crazy.
I can't carry
What was I saying
anymore.
about keeping an eye out for mercenary stuff? Ethereal, please? Nah. But yeah, so a decent armor that I can make a smoke in, a helm that I can make a bulwark in, and a pole arm or a spear to make a hustle in. And then maybe I'll switch to an Act 3 mode, just to see how it goes. But for now, yeah, this way. And honestly, might won't do much for me, because of my low base damage. But if I upgrade the bow, definitely might, and hustle has got to be the call. Like, you know how you play around mobs in how you just don't worry about them, like they're just dangerous to you and it doesn't matter what affixes or cores or anything they have. Like, that's how I'm playing now in Heaven. Oh, that's dangerous.
I need mana.
It's not that dangerous when you've got a belt full of UVs. Alright. Let's go back, fill the belt.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How may I help you?
You have quite a treasure there in that heraldic cube. If you put 3 tacos in the cube, it will transmute them into a burrito. And if you put 3 burritos in the cube, it will transmute them
Good evening.
into a taco. Heraldic magic is quite wondrous. Alright. 1,000 arrows have to be enough. With crushing blow, with static, it must be. I refuse to believe it won't be. I know it won't be. And I know this is going to be a comically safe fight. Just watch. Like, you know how annoying it is that Juriel slows you in? And how much, like, that's just to be hated and despised? Oh. Almost ran like face first into him, but like, look, now he's slowed, and now all we do is just strafe into him. I can, I want to come out of the thing, and there you go. He's amp damage, and he can just be depressed as he slowly dies. Yeah, I kind of want my mercenary in like static range. He's a long way from the top. Couldn't chunk that. do want to be a little bit careful about that, because strafe is a long animation. I should have really re-summoned the Dark when she was low, but I thought maybe she would get some heal. Sometimes she can impress you with the tank. But like, look at this. This is Juriel in Hell, and it's so safe. And it's not even that slow. This play is 3 Juriel in Hell with a 60 damage bow. I'm sipping Pepsi and playing with one hand. And my Valk's health just went up. She must have just randomly rolled with like a Spear of the Leech or something. Yeah, so waiting on the amp damage prog can take a little while. But he ain't going nowhere. And he ain't doing anything to us. Now it's just like a waiting game with the feed. And, you know, hoping for an amp damage probably to speed it up. Like, we have been rather unlucky here. But it's fine. The amp damage, there it goes. It's just quality of life at this point. Just speeds up the bleed damage a little bit. And we just chip him down. I wonder if it's worth keeping them, because I almost never farm this guy. Probably. Especially with 3-drop. And look at that, Act 2 done,
Hello.
not a single death,
Thank you.
safe as houses, players 5 in
This
Maggot
is not
Lair,
good. Will this madness ever end?
which was the only dungeon here, the Maggot Lair and the Claw Viper Temple, and comfy as hell. Killed Fang Skin, no mercy for the snakes, just, like, actually just easy dubs, so comfy, so easy. Like, I could take this off, and I could be wearing, you know, that Skulders for, like, extra MF. Because we're just comfy. But Act 3 is going to be a test, because Act 3, souls, and a lot of ranged enemies, and a lot of areas where it's hard to funnel things into chokes, but also potentially easy. If I am, like, relaxed and take my time and just, like, you know, really sweep the jungle rather than trying to, like, run through it and speedrun it. Hold on, we need to talk to
You have
our
done
boy, and now we can go to the jungle. And yeah, I don't want to upgrade this bow. Like, if I genuinely feel like hard stuck somewhere,
Greetings, Jeremy. Ahoy, mate.
I might upgrade the bow rather than put it down to players 3, because I do have the spare pole rune, and I'm really attached to this bow now, and I actually want it to be
Welcome to...
elite quality now. So let me see, what do I actually need to upgrade? Okay, Lum, Pole, Perfect Emerald. Yeah, not even. It's just the hull. That's the only thing that's a little bit there. I could upgrade it now.
Greetings.
But I can tell you, until the amp damage is on, the upgrade will barely be noticeable. All it's going to do is, like, when things get amp damage, they'll really pop fast. But prior to that, the damage is still going to be kind of slow and really reliant on the open wounds and everything else. Because this is still not like a very high damage bow. It's a very like fast hitting bow. And 197 is a good ED roll. But like, let's be real, when you really want to like just be like chomping and one-shotting, like think about how much ED a Bariza has, or an Eagle Horn, or a Windforce. So like a Bariza is not only getting a 200% ED roll, but then it's also getting like, you know, freaking 170 more
Hello.
max damage. You know, Eagle Horn with the, you know, max damage scaling per level, similar sort of situation where you're getting like 500 ED. Like the really elite bows have crazy, crazy buffs to just chunk up their base damage and get it really, really high, which this is never going to compete with, you know. But the open wounds and the slows target are mods that, to my mind, are so phenomenally powerful.
I've not.
You know, there are elite bows that I would take a dump on. Like I would rather do hell with this 60 damage, no upgrade, than try to do hell with some terrible elite bow like the ward bow, the one that's just like, you know, or like +3 to guided arrow, or Blood Raven's charge. Like that thing is so freaking terrible. Maybe even the Colossus crossbow, like unless it had godly stuff shoved in its sockets. Like yeah, it does a lot of damage, but my god, you couldn't use it for a strafe build. It would get you killed. It's too slow. But yeah, let's just go quickly pester the Wanderer. Let him know we're onto him. They call him the Wanderer. Yeah, he's the Wanderer. We just got lucky with the first proc. And bye-bye. Like, come on, this is a 60 damage bow, and it's just so comfortably clearing hell. And the stuff you need to upgrade it, you know, right here, we literally found it as I was derping around. Admittedly, I've only ever found one other. Like, to me, a Pole Rune is one of the most exciting finds in the game because it lets you do stuff like this. And if you think this is good,
Stay a while and listen.
wait till I get my hands on a Witch Wild string, and I will show you what a genuinely, like, you know, comfy but also good damage type build. Because like Witch Wild, you know, you can run it with Atmas, and it's just going to give you more amp damage procs. But you lose nothing from not having High Lords because you pretty much have guaranteed Deadly Strike anyway on it. You get a chunk of resistances. If I was holding a Witch Wild string, my fire resistance would be about even. Poison resistance would be good, and Cold and Lightning would be both, you know, pretty damn good. I think it's like 40 resist all. It's so freaking good. And then it just has 2 open sockets. Like, just, you know, oh, okay. It's so freaking strong. But it's proving to be extremely elusive. Or I would have really... Because if I get one, I'll definitely do another Boazon playthrough with it. And I'll try to farm a Pole Rune to upgrade it. Because it kind of does need to be upgraded. It doesn't have the speed this has. It doesn't have the slow. It doesn't have the open wounds. But it's still a really, really good bow. Better than this, I would say, if you do upgrade it. But yeah. Thanks to anyone who checked this out. I'll be doing Act 3. Maybe later tonight. Probably not. Definitely.